Good morning, guys. Today is November 4th, and we are going to talk about some of our most recent rituals that we've had in the headlines. 'Cause it's been a busy week. There was a lot of deaths that came through, a lot of race rituals that happened while they've got everybody distracted with this Israel war and all the other bullshit going on. So, yesterday, we got this huge headline about Trump and that his gag order has been lifted. So here's your headlines. This is how they put it in the news. So they temporarily freed this gag order that this chick right here put in place. So if you go in and look at this chick, right? So we know that we have certain numbers that are pinpointed in the majority of these rituals. I just did 2 videos on this 144 the other day. And I showed how so many people die 144 days before or after either their birthday or whatever made them famous. And if you look at President Biden, President Trump, Jesuit Order, and Mark of the Beast, language is coded, and these have very strong similarities. Words are energy. That's why they tell you to be careful what you speak. That's why they call it spelling, spells. You write in cursive, curse. So they basically lifted this gag order on Trump, and he's going to appear back in court on November 20th. Now, November 20th is Biden's birthday, and we know we live off a calendar that comes from the Roman Catholic Church, which does not align with the biblical Bible. And on the Catholic Church's calendar, November 20th is Biden's birthday. It's also going to be 138 days from the judge's birthday and 159 days from Trump's birthday. So if you write out Donald Trump, you get 138 and 159. Now, if you're new and you don't know how I'm getting these numbers, guys, simply take your alphabet. A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3. The way they taught you in slave school. Then turn around and reverse it. Z's 1, A's 26. You're going to get, when you write out Donald Trump, you're going to get 138 and 159. The exact dates on this calendar of when he's going to be in court again. It's 159 days. See, June 14th is when Biden or Trump was born. I may have said that backwards a few minutes ago with the 138 and 159. So here's Trump. He's born June 14th. June 14th to November 20th is 159 days. Here's this puppet. She's born July 5th, and it's 138 days from her birthday till this upcoming court appearance. So what's the chances that the judge that issued the gag order on the man named Trump is going to be in court identical to this Catholic calendar and gematria? It's not coincidences, guys. There's something going on here. And then Trump Jr. has been in the headlines too this week because they're under a fraud case right now. So Eric Trump had to, or Donald Trump Jr. had to go up there and testify too. And we'll talk about him in a second as well. But look, even in this one, you've got Judge Arthur Engoron prohibited Trump's attorneys from making any further comments. Look, even he fits in that pattern. These are all puppets that are there to play a part in this role of control. Look, he has the 177.69, just like the Mark of the Beast, Benjamin Netanyahu. Is he not a big player in the headline right now with the war? He has a complete overlay with the Mark of the Beast, and this war started 282 days after he come back into office. These are all players in this bullshit theater that we call politics. No different from Hollywood, no different from your sports leagues, because we're going to talk about these two guys here in just a second. So on November 2nd, we got a big old headline that they had raided the home of Brianna Suggs, which is part of the fundraiser for Eric Adams. Now, we knew that this day was going to be a big day for race or black rituals. And the reason for that is because it's the day leaving 59 days left in the year. And that's a number that is seen a lot with black history. And you can see why Brianna was the target on the day leaving 59 days left in the year. So we got Brianna 59, Negro 59, Slave 59, Blues 59, Rasta 59. So that's why they put this headline up there that they went into Brooklyn on November 12th and raided his campaign person 63 days from his birthday while he's age 63. And that's a racism number. 63 days from this dude's birthday. And our media loves to put these images in our heads with their stories. So the one that they chose for Eric Adams was the Day of Rage when he spoke to the temple in New York City on October 13th. So out of all the pictures that they have of Eric Adams in their stockpile, they chose this one to put in the headline because it's all propaganda, it's all bullshit. Now, they actually killed off Walter Davis the other day. And Walter Davis is dead at age 69. And think about basketball. Basketball's starting to kick up, right? Going into the basketball season. And we see this all the time. When you're going into a basketball season, you're going into a football season, you're going to see people that are associated with those leagues starting to die off. Sacrifices. And this year's no different. Walter Davis is dead. He's dead at the age of 69. Look at his name. Walter Pearl Davis, 69. He dies what day, guys? That same day that they raided Brianna. Because we knew that black people were going to be in the headline that day. And they sacrificed him off on the day leaving 59 days left in the year. See how he fits in that pattern at the age of 69? He's also dead 54 days from his birthday. So he's dead at the age of 69, 59 days from his birthday. They called him the Greyhound. Like, these people are so damn sick, y'all. So he was actually drafted in the 31st annual NBA draft. And it had the date numerology on that draft had 112 date numerology, which is also the day that he died. November 2nd. He was the perfect person to put in there because this is the puppet that's associated with the National Basketball Association. And he was born on September 9th, which is the day leaving 113 days left in the year. So he was a perfect puppet to put in there. And people don't even know how to read numbers to see the mockery of the shit. So the Phoenix Suns, they announced this. Look when they announced it. At 2:51 p.m. which is a ritual sacrifice number. He died 46 years after selling his soul. And we know that Genesis 46 is when it starts talking about the sacrifices to God. And Walter was sacrificed 46 years after he signed his soul away. 46 years later. And now he's part of black history. So he got his riches and his fame and now he's part of Black history. Well, while I was reading about him and the draft, it also said in that same draft that the very first black woman had been drafted in that same draft. Even though they ended up appealing it, she wasn't able to play, she's still considered the first black woman to have been drafted by the NBA. And so I went to look her up too because I was like, wonder if she's still alive. Nope. She died last year. She died at the age of 66, and she was the first woman drafted by the NBA. Woman equals 66. Number of the beast is 66. Number of a man is 66. Here is wisdom 66. These are all biblical verses, biblical things that we've been taught our whole life. Here she is. She drafted in that same draft, guys. So she's born on the 102. The perfect puppet. Just like Dew was born on the 113th, or the day leaving 113 days left. Well, this one's born on 102, which is a perfect number that fits in with Black history. She's born on February 10th, 10/2. She died 144 days from her draft date, guys. So we're just going to add this one into the video that I done the other day because I showed you how, like, Pence stepped out of the race 144 days from his birthday. You had that football player, I think his name was Michael Robinson, maybe. I'll have to go back and look. But he was reported dead the second time 144 days from his birthday. There's so many, guys. So many. It's mathematically impossible for the small amount of elites that we have running this world that they all just seem to have a ritual happen 144 days from their birthday. She's no different. And you can trace it all the way back through history because she died last year. I had never even looked into it. And sure enough, she died 144 days from her draft. See, the draft was held on June 10th, 31st annual draft, same one that old Walter was in. And she's dead 144 days from that draft. It's also 222 days until the next anniversary, and these are the guys that drafted her, the New Orleans Jazz. And that's right there, right before she died. She drafted on June 10th, died on January 18th. And if you count that span, guys, you're getting that 223, which is where that pattern comes in, that 223, 144 pattern. And I just did this video, guys, so if you haven't seen this one, when you get done with the video where you're watching now, go back and watch the Madonna Eurovision one, because I go over all of those 144s that we've seen in the headlines in just the recent month. It's an undeniable pattern that happens every day when you learn how to see through these bullshit rituals. Now, on November 2nd, I don't know why I have November 22nd here. That's a typo. I'll fix that later. So November 2nd, we get these headlines right here. Now, dude actually died on Halloween, but we're going to talk about why November 2nd was when his headline came out. So they told us that he's dead on November 2nd. There's his name, 112. We know this is a number associated with the Brotherhood of Death. His death headline comes 201 days from Apollo 16's flight, which is what he's known for. He got scrubbed from Apollo 13. Somebody else was put in his place, so he got to go on Apollo 16. And now his headline death comes out 201 days later. 51 years after he walked on the moon, or went to the moon, supposedly. See how that works out? He actually died on Halloween, which was 228 days from his birthday. And we know that's a big number with the United States of America Corporation that we all are a slave to. These are perfect rituals, guys. Every day playing out in your headlines. They give you these false idols, and then they sacrifice them off. They give you a false idol, and they sacrifice them off. We got this little mockery headline in the headline that day, that same day, November 2nd. Sam Bankman. Sam Bankman Frieds is his name. Bankman. Everybody's worried about the banks collapsing right now, and now we've got this dude being found guilty of fraud for his role. So they're frying the Bankman. They're putting him in jail for fraud. Looky there. Same pattern. Sam Bankman Fried, 59, getting tried in headline news on the day, leaving 59 days left in the year. His trial began on October 3rd and ended on November 2nd. Looky here, that date numerology. It's almost like it was scripted to happen, huh? So his trial starts here. His trial ends here. And he's headline news on November 2nd, the day leaving 59 days left in the year. He's found guilty at the age of 31, 31 days after his trial started. And he's found guilty for mismanaging the FTX, which is a cryptocurrency. He's the CEO of FTX, and he is found guilty 31 days after his trial started at the age of 31. After his trial started on this day, and this is a pattern I've been tracking a lot because a lot of these rituals have matching date numerology with like their upcoming birthdays or whatever made them famous. So we know why he was a headline news that day. Now, we talked about Trump a few minutes ago, so let's go ahead and talk about Trump Jr. So this was the headline right here on November 1st. And we know that Donald Trump in 60 is a very big pattern that we have proven time and time again. So you can see why he had to get on stage, and hit the headlines of this mockery. Nothing's ever going to be done. Nothing's ever going to be done to Clinton. Nothing's ever going to be done to Trump. Nothing's ever going to be done to Biden. Jeffrey Epstein probably didn't kill himself if he even existed at all because a lot of these people are just characters. And they're sick rituals that we live by. The media is their cheerleaders or their way that they do these rituals and how they do this mass mind control. We just talked about the 201. Well, look right here. This guy's in the PGA. His son was in a terrible, terrible car accident 12 years ago. It left him like pretty much brain dead. They kept him alive. And so they came out on November 1st and announced that Dan Quigley's son had died after that car crash. So Dad's actually born on the 144, and his son is headlines 201 days from his birthday. See, Dad's born on April 14th, and son's dead headlines 201 days later. Same pattern we just talked about with the Apollo guy. Dad's born on that day right there, and Devin makes headlines that he's dead on the day leaving 60 days left in the year, much like Donald Trump's son is headlining on this same day. So is Devin. Now, he actually died on Saturday, and this is why they hold the news, guys. It has to be put out there in scripted events. So when he died on Saturday, he died 170 days from Dad's upcoming birthday, which is the sacrifice number. It's a number we track all the time with sacrifices. So now he's dead 170 days before Dad's upcoming birthday. Dad was 64 years old at the time of the car wreck. And they're saying that it happened in Riviera Beach. And now he's dead in 2023, 12 years later. There he is. And he was in the accident 11 years and 333 days before his death. And his dad won 11 tournaments on the tour. So he won 11 tournaments. His son gets in a car crash. Okay, so his son gets in a car crash. He wins 11 tournaments, and then his son dies 11 years later in that 201 code and how they announced it. These people are so sick, y'all, and they do these same rituals every single day, day after day after day after day. I think we went over the Madonna Eurovision one. That's the one that I told you to go watch after this one because I went over so many of the 144 pattern, 144 223 pattern in that one. He also got General Hospital actor dead at 50. He's known for playing Nicholas on General Hospital. So he sold his soul on July 15th, and he dies 258 days from that anniversary. So he first appeared on this show July 15th, this character, and he dies 258 days from that, from selling his soul. And that's a number of the beast. He actually left the show on July 14th, 3 years later. And guess what? That's 170 days from that anniversary. Or not anniversary. It's the 170th day. It's the day leaving 170 days left in the year, which is that sacrifice number. And he's known for playing that General Hospital. Now watch this. General Hospital actually released 60 years ago on April 1st, right? So he's dead 60 years and 213 days later. And there's his name. And then it's 153 days before the next anniversary, which is that biblical number, which is also his real name, Tyler Baker. So he's known professionally as Tyler Christopher, and he dies 213 days from the anniversary of General Hospital releasing. His real name is Tyler Baker, and he dies 153 days before the next anniversary. These are scripted sacrifices, guys. They sign their soul, and they're used to make money. That's why they get paid. That's why a football player gets paid $60 million to play in a few games. They were 4 months, or once a year for 4 months. He makes more than most of us will make in our whole lifetime in 4 months. You have to ask yourself why they're paid so well. They're paid to distract. They're paid to keep your energy. Everybody's worried about a ball game, and they're not worried about the fact that they're sacrificing off old Walter, or that they've sacrificed her. And it's just sick rituals playing out every day, day after day after day, and it's the same patterns over and over and over again. But people don't understand the language they speak. They don't understand the calendar that we've been forced to live off of, even though it doesn't even coincide with the Bible. So they say that America is a Christian country, right? And we're supposed to be living off biblical ways. Well, if we're living off biblical ways, why are we not using the calendar that the Bible describes? Is it really a Christian nation if you're not even living off the calendar that's described in the Bible that we praise and live off, and and hold true as the true word of God? Something to think about. But guys, I love you, and I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all have a good rest of your day today.